Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at a rather unique, known as the Headhunter's Glory. The Headhunter's Glory is an odd shield, and it doesn't really have a lot of amazing uses. Um, it's just we'll go over it and we'll talk about it together, shall we? So right off the bat, when you look at this shield, one of the things that you're going to notice is just the appearance. The appearance of Headhunter's Glory is the same as Wall of the Eyeless, and it's a very, very pretty shield. The ethereal version has a little bit more of a lit sort of like behavior. It also has no shadow. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this about shields, but the ethereal versions do not have shadows. Let me see if I can... there we go. Notice that the shadow for the shield just simply disappears when I put the ethereal version on. Not sure if you guys ever knew that. Now, Headhunter's Glory is a Troll's Nest, so it is already high the max upgrade for this item. It does have a defense between 478 to 593, so this isn't even the maximum defense that you can roll. It has a level requirement of 75, which makes it an end game item. So to keep that in mind as we go over this. So if you feel like I'm being relatively harsh on this item, just know that it's a high level item, and I need to be harsh on it. It has a smite damage of 24 to 38, which is the highest that you can get for the bone shields. It is because it is the Troll's Nest, of course. It's not bad smite damage. We also have a block chance of 50% on Paladins, 45% on Amazon, Assassin, and Barbarian, and Druid has a Druid, Necromancer, and a Sorceress have 40%. It's relatively low on block chance, and that's because it's a Bone Shield, Grim Shield, Troll's Nest category. It is a light shield, though. I think it is important to note this, that the Bone Shields tend to be on the lighter side and don't have any real run-walk penalties. It also has a strength requirement of 106, which is still relatively low, to be honest, for a level 75 shield. Especially when you consider that most people are using Monarch shields with 156 strength requirement. We also have a bonus defense on this, which does vary quite wildly from 320 to 420. It has a bonus to defense versus missile, which also varies quite wildly from 300 to 350. And then it also has a fire resistance, which varies from 20 to 30%, a poison resistance, which varies from 30 to 40%, a life after each kill, which varies from 5 to 7, and sockets, which vary from 1 to 3. Yeah, there's a lot of variables. Everything on this shield varies. Literally everything. The sockets vary, the life after each kill varies, the poison res varies, the fire res varies, the defense versus missile varies, the defense varies, and the defense base varies. You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 variables. 7 variables is a lot of freaking variables for a shield, and quite honestly, it's one of the reasons why, whenever you find this, it usually is garbage. Because you'll find one with one socket, crappy defense, terrible resistances, and you look at it and you're like, what you see right now is a nearly perfect version of the Headhunter's Glory, and it is pretty nice in its perfect form. The ethereal version is also here, and I forgot to modify the defense on this, so let me run this calculation real quick. It is 582. Actually, I've got to use the base defense number, don't I? Base defense number, me. It's 173 plus 50%, which gives me 259, plus the 420 that is on the shield, which is 679 for the ethereal version. Not exactly worth a Zod rune or anything, especially considering it's already 582. And that's because most of the defense on this shield is coming from the plus and is not actually coming from the base. So keep that in mind. Now, what do you do with a shield like this? I feel like this is the most important thing to talk about. What the hell do you even do with a shield like this? Well, one thing you can do with it right off the bat, which is actually pretty fun, is you can take three 15% IAS jewels, relatively cheap items to come by, throw them in there, and you can get a nice 45% increased attack speed. 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 plus 15 is 45. So 45% IAS on a shield is actually pretty darn cool. And the other effects on this shield kind of make it worthwhile. Like, I mean, you could just pick up any 3-socket shield and put 15% IAS jewels in it. And granted, if you did that, you would still get your 45% IAS, but it wouldn't come with 582 defense, 350 defense versus missile, fire resistance, poison resistance, life after each kill, right? So the benefit of this shield is that you get the stats along with the sockets. And I think this is really where the Headhunter's Glory Troll's Nest actually comes in handy. You can build this any which way that you would like to build it. If you found it, you could throw three P diamonds in there just for a little while and utilize it as a resistance shield. You could also theoretically put 40% enhanced damage jewels in there. I'm not talking about 1540s. 40% enhanced damage jewels are a lot easier to come by than 1540s. And you could very easily get 40, which is 80, and then you could get another 40, which is 90, 100, 110, 120% enhanced damage on a shield. Now, granted, the Phoenix shield has a lot higher off-weapon ED on it than this would. But theoretically, if you had the scratch, if you had the doll hairs, you could put 3 1540s in there, and then you'd end up with 45% increased attack speed and 120% off-weapon ED, which is definitely better than just the off-weapon ED that Phoenix provides. So Headhunter's Glory does have some interesting uses, and if you did happen to find a Headhunter's Glory that is 3 sockets with decent resistances, I would hold on to it because there is a market for it out there of people who are interested in building very specific builds. Specifically, increased attack speed builds. This can be utilized very well on a paladin, a kick assassin, a druid who just wants to increase his attack speed. Now that off-weapon IAS works on druids, you could very easily put 15% IAS jewels in a Headhunter's Glory, pair it up with a Grief or something like that, and have some pretty massive attack speed bonuses, right? Because the Grief is on a phase blade, which is already a negative 30 item, combined with a pretty nice attack speed bump. Mr. NiNi is always doing something weird in my shirt, I swear. Oh, man. All in all, though, I think that Headhunter's Glory is a rather mediocre shield when you find it in its poor form. With only 1 socket, who's going to use it? Not a lot of people. With really poor resistances, really poor defense, really poor stats just in general, even if it did have 3 sockets, somebody still might want to hold out for a better one. A lot of the times when you find this, it's going to be in very poor condition, and you're not going to want to keep it. In fact, I would pretty much say that if you find a 1-socket Headhunter's Glory, you might as well just throw it away. If you find a 2-socket Headhunter's Glory, and you just really needed a resistance shield, 2 P diamonds in there might do you for a while until you get something better. But at level 75, I would hope you have something better. The 3-socket one, the variety is really where it's at, and you really want a 3-socket variety that has good resistances. The defense isn't so important, but if you did find a perfect Headhunter's Glory Troll Nest with perfect resistances and perfect defense, and 3 sockets, of course, you want to hold on to that and probably try and trade it for something, because there are some people out there who would like to get their hands on it. As always, I do like to go over and see where we could potentially find this item. So let's take a look on Silo's Pen, and let's see where we could potentially find ourselves a Headhunter's Glory. Now, assuming, of course, that this is a high-level item, we are assuming that we are also a high-level character who probably has a decent amount of Magified. So we're going to assume 400%. And let's take a look at bosses first. And notice the list is pretty small. Not a lot of monsters on this list at all. So we are looking at Baal in Hell and Diablo in Hell at 1 in 1,437 and 1 in 6,048. Mephisto in Hell also has a chance to drop this, but at a much reduced rate, and so does Neelathak in Hell at pretty much the same rate as Mephisto. Let's take a look at super uniques. I guarantee you this list is going to be tiny. Oh, yeah, it's still pretty small though. Pretty terrible chances too on a lot of these. You might as well just cut half these out right now. 1 in 34,000. Let's stick to the above 20k, above 1 in 20ks, which is still a pretty terrible list. But we do have Doc Farron on this list, who's pretty easy to farm at 1 in 16,800. Pindleskin also 1 in 17,000. Looks like Doc Farron beats Pindleskin by a little bit. And Doc Farron, quite honestly, is super easy to farm if you're a sorceress. He's basically right in the middle of the siege zone. You just teleport to the middle of the siege zone and kill him. It's super duper easy. Thresh Socket, also pretty easy to kill. He's at the end of Area Plateau. And Eldritch the Rectifier is on the list, as well as Shank the Overseer. So it does look like you could do the this pretty standard Magic Find combo, which is kill Hephaestus the Armor, kill Doc Farron, right? All right, you kill Doc Farron. Teleport up and kill Shank the Overseer. Teleport up even further, kill Eldritch Rectifier. Teleport up even further and kill Thresh Socket. And then go back to town and kill Pindle, and then rinse and repeat. That's actually a pretty good little combo. It's super quick, and it's basically, what is that? That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 super uniques real quick, back to back. It's not a bad little combo there. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when it is a Headhunter's Glory video. And as always, keep watching.